Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Through the Keyhole, the show that visits the homes of the famous with Lloyd Grossman, Britain's #1 household name. Tonight, as always, we've borrowed the keys to two fascinating homes belonging to well-known people, and with Lloyd's help, we'll be taking a privileged peep behind closed doors. But the question is, whose? Well, to try and answer that question, we've got a not quite matching set of guest guessers. First of all, a man who, ever since he was old enough to hold down a regular job, hasn't. Cartoonist, actor, author, wit, so many things. William Rushton.
Okay.
Thank you. It was rather graceful, that, wasn't it?
I love it. Every
rather
moment.
graceful.
Do it again.
Next, taking a holiday from holiday, joining our human roadshow and always game for a laugh, Miss Sarah Kennedy. And finally, a man with a ready wit, and he's going to let us know when he's ready, Mr. Alan Corran. Let me just tell you a little more about the game. With the aid of our magic keys, we'll be taking a careful look inside two fascinating homes, and that should tell us something, maybe quite a lot, about the person who lives there. All that our friends have got to do over there is to try and work out who it is. So let's join Lloyd right now at house #1 and watch closely, because remember, the clues are there as we go through the keyhole.
Oh, I see they finally found the Phantom of the Opera's shaving mirror. This hall belongs to someone with very strong and definite tastes. Look at all the black and white. This is a person who sees the world as divided into obvious problems and obvious solutions. Maybe someone who's slightly intolerant. This sitting room is ideal for a person with a short span of attention. If you're bored with your beans on toast here at the dining table, it's just a short stroll over to the piano for a bit of music making. And if that doesn't go down very well, you can just race to the other end of the room to sit in front of the fire in a cozy armchair reading a book. There's an extensive home library here with all sorts of different types of books, ranging from serious literature like this to light bedside reading. I'm very interested in these miniature books here. So this is someone who's obviously short-sighted, I think. There's quite a serious stereo setup here. Lots of records. That, coupled with the piano, indicates someone who's very, very interested in music. Even though there's a very abundantly stocked drinks trolley here, this is a very well-behaved and restrained room. This furniture is soft and a little bit floppy, but it still tends to make you sit up rather straight. And I think this is the area where polite conversation goes on. Now, whoever lives here might be a tiny bit of a workaholic, because I think this desk actually gets used. It's not just ornamental. And it's also someone who seems rather keen on sporting activities. Like the front entrance, this back stair hall shows a preference for strong and simple colors and forms. There's a predominance of stone, white, and black. There's a massive stone Italian table. This person has very forceful, basic, individual, and indeed slightly unconventional taste. This room that I'm sitting in looks like the place where the Thunderbirds hold their board meetings. It's in fact the dining room. It's definitely for members of the Good Posture Brigade, and it's intended for serious, intense conversation. So the room behind me is a bit of a surprise. It's dominated by an astrological ceiling. Maybe this person is just a tad superstitious. This study is the coziest room in the house, and it shows that what goes on in here, namely reading and writing and thinking, is very important to the owner of this house. Now, it's a room that shows that someone is being dragged in two opposite directions. One way is towards the modern world, and this is represented by this big television set. And the other way is back towards the inspiration of the past, as represented by this traditional bookcase. It's also a room that has a very rural feel, so we might be dealing with a country person. Even though there's electronic entertainment gear here, like a compact stereo system and a television set, the feel of the bedroom is very old-fashioned, with its brass bed and floral chintz curtains. But this person has very adventurous and exotic taste in fast food. I've never seen a grapefruit pizza before. Let's look at the evidence. The miniature books, the Marathon Man, the astrological ceiling, the grapefruit pizza. Who lives in a house like this? David, it's over to you.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Lloyd. And now for our home and studio audience, though not for our panel, here's whose house it is. William, may I invite you to begin the psychoanalysis?
If you must. I don't know. My initial feeling looking at that place is, what he is, he's a man who's realized there's a lot of money to be made in founding a good religion. Like the man who did Scientology, Hubbard. Yep. Statuette of a streaker, I couldn't work that out at all. It's an athletic religious maniac. And, I mean, clearly monastic in some way. And I would quite like to join a religion. I like the place.
Did you think he was the founder of a new religion, Sarah?
No, I didn't. I think many conflicting signs there. It's very, I would say an awful lot of money has gone into a designer's pocket. I don't think that's all him or her. I think he's paid for a lot of that. The little touches like the sports thing I think are misleading. I think that might be a child's thing, am I right? No, maybe not. I think it's an industrialist, somebody who's made an awful lot of money, and I think, I won't say who it is yet, but I think it's because we've eaten what he's produced.
The word industrialist, you were a little late there. Would you applaud the word industrialist? There's a lot of truth in that word. Anyway, Alan.
Could you tell us why?
Well,
Stop cheating.
it's clearly an industrialist none of them has ever heard of.
Yes, that's
it's a covered industrialist. I was going to say I wouldn't have said an industrialist. I was thinking someone with a little flash like the head of a movie studio. It was a house that conferred something on it. I think Scott Fitzgerald might have been some sort of covert Grossman clue. But they're not laughing at that either, or saying at that, or they're not even breathing out there. He's a maker of something, is he?
Willie.
This is where my early brain death. No, names have now completely gone. I passed 50 this year and immediately forgot the names of almost everybody who ever existed, which is no good on this programme. If I can possibly hurl into the air things he might have made, like the Sinclair C5.
You've got it. Sir Clive Sinclair coming through the keyhole. Clive, welcome. And I must just ask Willie, out of nowhere...
I was hoping to get a laugh. I had no idea it was the actual...
Did you agree with the psychoanalysis that went on there and with Lloyd saying you were torn between modern and the past and things?
Yes, I think that's quite true, yes. And by the way, the ground floor was entirely my doing, upstairs was decorated, so for me, so you're quite...
Could I ask one thing? The running thing, do you actually run?
Yes, I've done a couple of marathons, that's why...
That was a covert clue
yes.
there, yes, because you've done a couple of New York marathons, haven't you, and so on and so forth. And the miniature books was a sort of clue, I suppose, in a sort of way, because of miniaturization, right, as well. Tell me, the stuff that the decorator did he do the dining room or did you?
The dining room I did. That's all the ground floor I did, yes. The upstairs, the television room was done by and the bedroom were done by the designer.
Which is your favourite room?
The drawing room.
The drawing room. You're most comfortable in there?
Yes.
Do you work in there a lot?
Not a lot, no, but sometimes, yes.
That was a stunning thing, actually, if I can break it over. There was no evidence of work. Normally, for a half-crazed scientist to expect an atom smasher and a woman in a diaphanous gown and monkeys in the basement with things chained to the national grid, there was no sense of a computer genius or a cybernetic... But I know you hate the word cybernetics, but There was no evidence of what you did in the house.
There were the tracks of the C5 round the boardroom when I used to laugh.
I can afford a cleaner,
Tracks
that's
of
why.
accountants.
Yes, I've got a cleaner.
What about the astrology thing, too? I mean, are you vaguely superstitious?
Not at all. No. My ex-wife was and is, and so I had it painted to amuse her. Really.
When you actually go to do a bit of the inventing, as it were, like writing a bit of poetry or something, is it something that comes to you or you work at it?
Definitely work at it. I don't think anything like that's done without constant attention to it. You know, quite a bit of attention to it.
And what about this book, Hormones and Reproductive Behaviour? Do you read that a lot?
No, I don't. It's part of a series, a Scientific American series, and I just happen to have that one there.
And Lloyd was attracted to it. Well, we'd like to present you not the most priceless thing in your house, but anyway, it's our token of saying thank you, Clive, for being with us and for sharing that lovely stone home with us. Thank you for being with us very much indeed. We're going to take a break there. We'll come rushing back in a moment. But who with? We'll find out in a second. Our thanks to Clive. Welcome back to Through the Keyhole with Lloyd Grossman. Lloyd tells me, by the way, that by the time you've paid for a house on the outskirts of town, it isn't. That's his theory. Well, let's find out where house number 2 is anyway, right now, as we go Through the Keyhole.
Funny place for a restaurant. This is a very jaunty hall with its stripes and bright colours. It could have been decorated by an ex-captain of hockey at Rodine. Very, very good-humoured indeed. The first room you come to is an ironing room, and it's got a weight training bench as well. Whoever it is, though, is awfully generous, because how many other people take their dustbins on foreign holidays? This telephone is ideal for those slightly bleary mornings after, when regular keys would be a little bit hard to find. I think that this bedroom belongs to a very busy person because there are no knickknacks. It's all been reduced to the bare essentials. This person can't stand any form of clutter at all. It's someone who perhaps has a love of the country, maybe was born in the country, because the furniture has a very rustic feel. And there's a fine collection of jocular pillows. Well, I think he's been listening to the radio with the volume turned up a bit too loud. Now, this is a very interesting room. It's very, very introspective. It's obviously the room of someone who's, let's say, a bit of a stereo buff, but probably someone who's very self-reliant, has quite a rich imagination, a bit of a loner. The sitting room is wired for sound as well, and it seems that what they like to do in this household is sit in front of the stereo munching peanuts of an evening. Now, whoever lives here has a difficulty separating their professional life from their private life. This person has to be working constantly. That's why the desk in the home office is right in the middle of this room. So I think this forms a backdrop to someone who's got a fairly dynamic personality. This is quite an interesting object here. It's a real samovar, a Russian tea maker. So this person probably drinks a lot of tea. This is an object of such beauty and value that they actually keep it hidden. This is a very chic little terrace with its bit of Renaissance statuary behind me, but it's less Venice, Italy than Venice, California. Plastic. Let's look at the evidence. The sticky-fingered telephone, the jocular cushions, the illuminated stag. Who lives in a house like this? David, it's over to you.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Lloyd. And now for our home and studio audience. Here's whose house it is. A thoughtful panel, and none more thoughtful than Mr. Alan Cole.
None with fewer thoughts, David. It's obviously immensely popular, or the audience is cold and just clapping his hands to keep warm. Very strange home, in that the first thing you come to going up the stairs is the ironing room. I thought at first it was some arcane modern statue. An ironing board with an iron on it. It was very odd to come to that first, and then to go out onto a tiny piece of astroturf, then see the weight training. I thought it might well be a Queen's Park Rangers striker who irons his own shorts and keeps himself fit by running around his terrace. I would think it's a sportsman of some kind. No, I wouldn't any longer. I'm almost certain, however, that all that audio equipment means it is someone in the music business.
Right, Sarah.
Well, whoever it is has got a sense of fun. Obviously, a comic. A comic with a sense of fun. Very clever, Sarah. You're doing very, very well.
Yes.
I like the illuminated stag, the Cyril lawn, the bed. It must be a great lover who's a comic as well. Now, who's a Randy comic? Come on, you know about Randy comics.
Right, Willie.
Randy comic.
Norm has NASA control of a musical thing, so he must be more than just comic. I mean, if he's funny comic stuff, writes lyrics. No. He's short-sighted, hence the telephone and the enormous waterbed. One thing, on his side, the indoor plants look very, very happy. You go into some of these places, and the indoor plants, I mean, when I speak to an indoor plant, I bore it to death. But he obviously keeps very, very contented. Is it a he?
It's a he.
Can't be worth applause just because it's a he.
Quite often, late in the argument, it arrives it's a she.
There was a sort of diminutiveness about it. Is it a small comic, or a medium-sized comic, or even a very large? No, it's not.
He must be one of those.
It's a very large.
I would say he's sort of
medium rare.
small
comic.
to medium. Now, just think of one or two of the other things you've mentioned.
All right.
You should be able to get this. You're nearly
Peanuts, is that a clue?
Pardon?
No.
Peanuts? No.
Why do you like peanuts?
Peanuts.
Because they were eating peanuts.
I think
Charles
ironing.
Schultz.
Does anybody have a good ironing routine?
That means
Willie?
he's a single comic.
No, he's got.
Well, I think they're not going to make it, but seeing all that stereo equipment was a good clue. It is. Will you welcome through the keyhole, Mr. Kenny Everett?
That's a bit like him.
Not a bit like him.
Good to see you. Congratulations, you eluded them.
Yes.
You should have got it.
I don't think they could afford him. I don't know. It flashed across my mind. I thought, no. Were you here anyway?
I really thought there'd be a much flasher pad for someone like Kenny Everett. It was a very small terrace, a very small lawn, a very small
There was
ironing
another
room.
bit behind the camera.
I thought, I think they faked it. There's a vast mansion and hills beyond.
I'm a Capricorn, very subdued. That's where the ironing comes in. Very.
Do you do your own ironing?
Oh yeah, beautifully.
Or everything we see here has been personally
No,
self-ironed.
No,
Do
the
you
guy
do your
behind
own
the scenes
weightlifting?
did this. What?
Do you do your own weightlifting?
Yes,
You get a
I
man
guess,
in.
yes. I don't get somebody in to do it for me. It's an idea.
What's the origin of Shea Edith, Kenny?
Well, you know, everybody in showbiz has got private names, like Elton John is Sharon. I won't tell you what yours is. That was knitted specially for me.
And did you give the BBC its name? Beeb?
Yes, Beeb, yes. I should have charged for it, shouldn't I? I should have copyrighted
But that was one of
it.
your... Invented it when you went to the BBC or before you did?
Well, they were very stiff in those days, you know. I thought they needed a bit loosening up, so I thought I'd give them a silly name. So...
But, I mean, going back to the beginning, is your biography true about the fact that they all say that you spend a year training to be a priest? Is that true?
Yes, yes.
What was that
gave
like?
it a whirl. Well, the reason I did that was because Liverpool was full of chimneys, and this place was out in the Yorkshire countryside. So I thought, and a friend of mine came back and said, oh, it's great. You can chase moles and have a good time, breathe and climb trees. I said, you have to go to mass every morning, but, you know, you can just snooze in your pew. So, yeah, it was a good time there. But then they twigged that I wasn't actually serious.
Right. And what gave away the fact that you did not have a vocation?
Well, they found me one day with a couple of the other lads in the... because there were tunnels going under the house. It was Disraeli's country house. And we used to steal our way down into the basement where they kept all the wine for the altar. And when we were doing, I was an altar boy as well, and when the priest was going, when you pour the wine over, and the water over his fingers, he'd get to the wine bit and he'd say, more. More. So I thought, if he's drinking all the profits, I'll have a go myself. Yeah. So we used to go under the building and steal the wine. I'm afraid, sorry, God.
Anyway, God found you out, or his representatives found you out, and you moved on.
Well, that started me on a long line of alcoholic consumption, thus the telephone. That's why I got a telephone with buttons you can see in the dark, so you know.
That is... Oh, Lloyd was right. That is the reason. That is the reason.
That's a true alcoholic's telephone.
Is the other thing true in your biography that your first job was scraping surplus fat off sausage rolls?
They never forget this, do they? They never forget these
it's just
awful things.
Is that true?
Yeah, but that prepared me for a lot of things. Because everything, after scraping sausage roll ends off a tray, everything is great.
Yeah. And when did you change your name? At what stage?
Well, from Edith.
To Edith?
Well, I was on the pirate ship one day, and the boss came on and said, you're all illegal, so you'll have to change your name. So my real name is So I decided to change it. It's Morris Cole. Fancy calling a child Morris Cole. My mother used to call me Mo. Isn't that awful? Mo. It's like a thing. So I was walking around one day. I thought, what's a good name for a DJ? And I thought, hey, Genghis Jetstream. And I said, no, be sensible. Everett. What goes with Everett? Kenny.
And you were there.
And there I was.
That was in the pirate radio days. But pirate radio made you seasick, I read somewhere, did it?
For about 5 months, yes.
Not the most
I said, hey, here's a really great record by Los Lobos. It's called whatever it's called. Wasn't that great? It was hell. But they didn't learn how to work the transmitter for about 5 months, so we were just throwing up in private.
So, as you say, after sausage rolls and that, everything has been wonderful.
It's been a mixed life.
It's been a good life. Well, it's been a pleasure having you with us, Kenny. May I present you with this, which I think you will agree is in the best possible taste.
Yes. Is it real?
It's more or less. The wood isn't real, but that is.
Sorry.
That is real.
Thank you so
Kenny,
much.
it's been a delight having you with us. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, it has.
Thank you.
Really been a pleasure. Our thanks to Kenny, our thanks to William Rushton, to Sarah, and to Alan, and to Supply Sinclair. Until the next time, goodbye for now.